for today's session. Let's get started with the prayers. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Bhasha Dadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I think it is live. It's not live. Check it is live, I guess. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining in. And today we'll be discussing a very, very important topic. You might have already seen. What is the topic today we're discussing? How to make decision in our life. Why we need to discuss the topic? The reason why we need to discuss this topic is at every moment, every step we are making decision in life. It's not like some major decisions that we're talking about. Like some of you are here today attending this session. You made a decision that you should come here, right? You could have gone to some party, something, some family, friends, some Krishna Balram Mandir then. There's so many different varieties of Mandir. In India, they call it Lakshmi Mandir, Raj Mandir, Maratha Mandir. By the way, they're all cinema hall, but they named it like Mandir. Right. So sometimes there is a confusion which mandir to go. So at every step we are making decision in life, even like a small thing, and especially in this Kali Yuga, in this modern age, people are even more confused. Even as simple as that, like what to eat. They have to make decision, what to eat in lunch, what to eat in dinner. Sometimes whether eat or not dinner, skip the dinner. Right. So at every step, there is a decision. When you are coming, you're going somewhere out, what kind of dress? So much choices are given and you have to make the decision. So these are all very simple and easy thing, but life is not that easy. Life at times is very, very complex. And life puts us in sometime in a very complex situation where you're confused what to do. Right? What we are talking about, all this clothes, food, going out, which restaurant, and all of that is easy choices to make. But still there is a choice always. There is a decision. And then we grow up and then studies, which college, what course, what job, and get married, what kind of a person. You make whatever best choice, but still after that, it is beyond your control. That is another reality, but still you are given the chance to make the choice, take a decision. So like that. But again, they're not very serious things to make decision, but sometimes life puts us in very, very complex situation. Right. So we can discuss some examples, and I'm not sure, like some of you might have faced those kind of events in your life where you're completely in delusion that what to do. Like, take up the job, stay back in India or go to US, or stay in US, or I want to go back to India, something like that. It might be a little, not that straight sometime to make decisions. So in today's session, what we'll be doing is, we'll be learning how to make the decisions, and especially the complex one. What should be the determining factor? What should be the criteria to make the clear choice? So that is the topic today. Now, when we talk about making decision in life, so we have heard about these concepts of like we are at different level or existence. One is our gross body, which is made out of earth, water, fire, air, ether. What the body we see. This is called gross body, stool sharir. And then there is a Sukshma Sharir, which is our subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego. And then beyond that, there is real you, which is the soul. So these are all basics of Bhagavad Gita that we have discussed already. And I'm assuming that everybody is familiar with those concepts that you are not the body, not only this gross body, but you are not even the subtle body, mind, intelligence, and ego, but you are someone beyond that, and that is the soul. Now, you as a person to make decision that you is soul. Now, soul as a person has to make the decision in life. Now, it depends on who makes the decision? First of all, we need to understand. It is not the soul. Soul has given some faculties, like we are talking about mind and intelligence. So mind's role is mind just keep popping various ideas. That is the job of the mind. It's like a thought factory, constantly keep popping up. Look at this, look at that, this idea, that idea. Like there is a research done in the modern scientists. They say that on an average, a person in a day, he get some many thousands of thought unconsciously. You don't even know how many thoughts comes in our mind, right? It is like some 50, 60,000 thoughts in a day. So that is the role of the mind. Keep generating, keep popping up a lot of thoughts. But then somebody has to make the decision which thought to process, which to neglect or reject. So that job is the job of intelligence, buddhi. So the intelligence helps us to make the decision. Now, when we talk about the decision is in simple language, in a layman's languages, decision is something like accepting favorable, rejecting unfavorable. What is good for you, you accept that. And something which is not good, you should be able to discriminate. So that role play, that job is of that of intelligence. So now there is a mind, there is intelligence, and there is Atma. So intelligence is in between. So if intelligence is leaning towards the mind, if intelligence start listening the mind, then you'll end up making wrong decisions. But if intelligence goes little side of Atma, the soul, then there is a chance that you'll make the right decision. I'll explain this. Right. So this is how it works. So there are two kinds of intelligence being described in the scriptures. Technically, it is called Puranjani Buddhi, or it is also called in the Bhagavatam. You will read this concept of Dehatma Buddhi, means bodily concept of life. Your Buddhi, your intelligence is all about the bodily comforts, the bodily enjoyment. And this is how the modern Buddhi of everyone. Modern intelligence is centered around the sense enjoyment. How we can enjoy more, how we can create more and more comforts and the facility for the body to enjoy. So life is all about enjoyment, right? They say that life, how do you define life? Life. Life means live in full enjoyment. That is the modern idea of life. Every moment there should be enjoyment. But the Vedic idea of life is not live in full enjoyment, but live in full enlightenment. That is the whole purpose of human form. And then if you live in full enlightenment, then your life is in full enjoyment. So you're not missing that enjoyment part. Right. So this is one type of buddhi which is called Dehatma Buddhi, where you're centered around all this enjoyment. And there is another buddhi which is called Sati Mati. Sati means Mati means the buddhi. Buddhi for the right cause. So basically, technically, it is called Prayas and Shreyas. Prayas means something temporary gain. Like for example, what is Prayas? Like a child, a small child. He always wants to play out. He can go on playing whole day. He doesn't care about eating food. He doesn't care about his studies and all of that. Because there's a lot of pleasure in that. Enjoying spending time with friends. So this is temporary gain. He's driving a lot of pleasure and he say, no, I want to play. But mother comes and pull him. Say, no, now time's up. Come inside, eat food, do your work, something like that. But the child, because it's childish buddhi, childish intelligence, he cannot understand that there is no pleasure in doing this. I was enjoying with my friends, playing, so much joy. And now my mother, she is my enemy. She is not allowing me to enjoy. But the mother, as being a mature person, she can see that it's a long-term benefit. He has to sacrifice some of the pleasure, playing with the friends and all that. But if he comes, he eats, and then he becomes more disciplined, studies and all of that, then in the long term, he'll derive a lot of benefits. So this kind of buddhi, Shreyas buddhi and Prayas and Shreyas, or Dehatma buddhi or Atma buddhi. Dehatma means bodily concept of life. And then Atma buddhi is the buddhi for the real self, for the real good. So what we'll be doing today's discussion, we'll understand that how to make decision. And continuing our discussion from the previous session, we're talking about various kind of dharmas in our previous session. And we know that how the Bhagavad Gita begins with this confusion of Arjuna, his doubt, 2.7. Dharma sammood chetaha. He says that I'm confused about my dharma. I'm confused about my duty, right? And Arjuna was actually confused there. He don't know that what to do. And we'll come to that why he was confused actually. I will read one verse and then. So this is 2.7. And then 2.8 also, Arjuna actually confirms his confusion. He says, I'm confused. I don't know what is my duty, what is my dharma. I'm surrendered to you. Shishyasteham shadimam tu amrbannam. I'm surrendered now. You have to guide me. So that was Arjuna's question. That is how the Gita's discussion begins. And then he says that I can find no means to drive away this grief, which is drying up my senses. I'll not be able to destroy it even if I win an unrivaled kingdom on the earth with sovereignty, like the demigods in heaven. So he was so confused. He was saying that if I gain this entire earth as my kingdom, still I'll not be happy. So two questions. One thing is I'm confused. What is my duty? And also tell me that how can I be happy? I cannot be happy being the king of the entire planet. That is what is my mental state. So Arjuna is putting this kind of a situation in front. Krishna. And that time, Krishna started to speak. And Arjuna has to make the decision. Now, very interesting fact about Bhagavad Gita is Arjuna did not, Krishna did not tell him that what he should do. He could have straight tell that I am telling you, you fight. And Arjuna understand Krishna's position as God. So Bhagavad Gita would have finished in maybe just one sentence or some 6 words. Krishna, immediate after the question of Arjuna, Krishna would have said, I am God, fight, and that's all. Over Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna would do that. But now what Krishna is saying, Krishna is doing is, he's not telling him about what to think. He's actually educating him how to think. Basically, how to make decisions in life. He's not taking decision for his life, whether I should fight or not. Krishna says, oh, fight, I'm telling you, just fight. Don't worry. He would have fought. But no, that is not the approach of Bhagavad Gita. Nobody is dictating. Krishna is basically, through this whole treatise, this philosophical discussion, Krishna is educating Arjuna how to think, how to make decision. So Bhagavad Gita is all about taking decision. Okay, so let us understand few things here, few concepts, why there is a confusion in life, right? When it comes to decision, multiple choices are given and why we are confused. So last time we were talking about these different identities, different dharmas. Any of you remember I was talking about Jati Dharma, Kula Dharma, and all that, right? And then finally we are talking about the Sanatana Dharma. So in the same lines, there are a few more additional concepts that we need to understand. That when he was confused, how Krishna helped Arjuna to clear the confusion. It is as simple as that. Like, when you are driving on a road, how do you make decision? Which direction to drive? How do we do that? It's very simple. That is okay, but where? Which direction? Which direction you should go? Yes, it is as simple as that. Where you want to go? Destination should be clear. Then only you can drive, right? But now my question is, every place is a destination. You can call every place, any place as a destination. So which destination? We are saying destination we should know. But there is more specific, because every place can be destination, right? Think. It's very simple answer. It is not that complex. What address? Some bar. Which destination? Back to Godhead. And my question is very simple. Question is, you drive on the road. Which destination you want to drive?
The highest priority for us.
Highest priority.
Where you will go first.
Yes. So you are close to the answer. So actually you almost answered that. So basically we are saying my destination. You are not saying destination. Every place is a destination. What is my destination versus what is your destination? Everything is a destination. So what I'm trying to bring you to understand this, when you had to make any decision, which direction to drive, you should be clear about my destination. And for my destination means that my is very important. You should know who am I and what is my priority, and then where I want to go, why I want to go, and all of those things. But first, you should know that I want to go at this place. So you should know about yourself. That is what exactly Krishna is doing in Bhagavad Gita through all this discussion. So what was happening is, as last time we were discussing, that Arjuna, he knew that he was a very expert archer, top notch, on the warrior of his time. He knows how to fight, but what he missed is why to fight. So you need some clarity and why to fight. He knows how to fight, how to shoot the arrows and all of that. So that four concept that today I want to explain is what happened with Arjuna is loss of identity. There's something called loss of identity, where you are confused that why I should be doing something what I'm doing. Arjuna, as being a Kshatriya, he kind of got confused. He lost his identity. He's thinking I'm Kshatriya, but they're all my family members. I'm a Kshatriya or I'm there someone. So there is a loss of identity. There is a conflict of identity. Now, when we talk about our identity, it is not one simple straight identity. There's multifacets of our identity. Like for someone, you can be a wife. Another person, you are a mother. For some other person, like some professional relationship, something like that. So same person, but multiple identities based on where you are situated. When you're talking to your son, you say, I'm a mother, you act differently. With husband, you act differently. With your in-laws or someone or parents, you act differently. So who are you? You're a mother or you're a wife or husband or father or what? Who are you? So there is a conflict of identity at times. And all these identities are true identities, but there is a conflict. So there is a loss of identity, there is conflict of identity. So I gave the example, like, in your house, your identity is more of like relational identity. How you associate with the people in the house or in a family with the relations. How you introduce yourself, he is my husband, she is my wife, they're my kids. Right. So that is what is your identity. There is a professional identity. There you say he is my boss, he is my CEO or something like that. Right. On a gender level, it comes, then he says he's a man, I'm a woman, something like that. But in the house, in a family, you don't introduce, here is a man, I'm a woman, he's a younger woman, and he's a younger man. Basically, you don't say like that. Basically, you're saying husband, wife, son, daughter, something like that. So you see that there is multifacets identities. So there might be some conflict of identity. So there is a loss of identity. There is a conflict of identity, and then to resolve that, we need to understand the hierarchy of identities. There is a hierarchy of identities. Which identity to use in what situation? So we should get educated, right? So that is one item. And like that. So let us understand all these concepts. So Arjuna's what is happening is he got into this dilemma, the loss of identity, what to do. He is being a Kshatriya. His duty is to fight. He knows how to fight, but now he's wondering why to fight. That was his dilemma, and he's confused. So many times we understand so many things, but then question comes why? Why I have to do this? Why this job only? Why stay here only? Why this person only? Something like that. So you are lost. Then there is a conflict. What was the conflict? Arjuna, as his dharma as a Kshatriya, that is his identity. And as being a Kshatriya, he has to fight, he has to shoot the arrows, he has to kill the enemies. But who are those enemies? Those enemies are his own grandfather and teachers, his own family members. So immediately there is another identity loaded. You are standing with bow and arrow as a Kshatriya, but the person standing in front of you is your own family members. Another identity came. Oh no, I'm not a Kshatriya only. I'm the grandson, or I'm the disciple, or my family relatives and all that. So immediately there is a conflict of identity. What to do now? Should I act like a Kshatriya, or should I act like the grandchild or a disciple? Confusion. What to do? Right? Like I can think of some crude example for this is nowadays it doesn't work, but I'm thinking some traditional examples. Like say a young boy get into some love affair with some young girl, right? And then he wants to get married, and family say, no, 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 this is intercaste marriage. Either you choose us or you choose her. something like that. Now there is identity. Oh no, I am their son. I have to be nice son. But I love her. I cannot just leave her like that. So there is identity conflict. Now whom to listen, whom to really follow, and whom to really please. Parents also should be happy, but this girl also should be happy. I should be happy. So confusion. किसका सुनना है? This is called identity, conflict of identity. What to do in that kind of a situation? So when all those things comes, then what Krishna did was Krishna actually introduced another dimension of identity. Now this is what is the Bhagavad Gita is offering. So the different third is the hierarchy of identities. What is hierarchy? Like say physical identity, I'm a man or woman or something like that. Then Kshatriya identity, the relational identity, all these identities, they're all relative identities. They're not absolute identities. Like say, for example, a person to call himself as a father, he has to have the son or child. Then only he can call I am a father. So far, child was not there, that identity was not there. Right? Suddenly that identity came in life. Like that. Right? So these are all relative identities, temporary identities. It comes and goes. And you might be confused. So then what Krishna is doing here in Bhagavad Gita is he is introducing another dimension of identity, which is not a temporary identity, which is not a relative identity, but which is permanent, absolute, eternal identity, which never changes. No matter you're a man or woman, or you're young or old, you're married or unmarried, or whatever, you have the job or no job, that particular identity that never changes. What is that identity? That you are not the body, you are the soul, and soul is eternal. So as soon as you start, see, that is how you see in Bhagavad Gita, the first concept that Krishna brings is about soul. That is fundamental, that is ABCD of life. But unfortunately, in this modern age, despite all education, people doesn't know ABCD also. That is what modern education is offering, unfortunately. But Bhagavad Gita's education is, you get well versed with this ABCD of life, that you are not the body, you are actually the soul. So now, whenever you have to make the decision in life, now what is your reference point? If you're thinking yourself as on the level of some relation, whether listen to the parents or to the friends, confusion, relative identity, right? There might be always confusion. So to resolve all the decision-making thing, you have to come to the level of that eternal identity, your reference point. Your reference point is your mind, your ego, or your soul. What is your reference point? So if you can determine what is your reference point to make decision, it will help you a lot to make the decision. Okay. So let me explain this concept, how to come to that level of how to change, how to bring that reference point, which helps us to resolve all this kind of conflicts. Right. See what Krishna actually educated Arjuna is. If you read the whole Bhagavad Gita, nowhere you'll find any mention of that Krishna is reminding Arjuna that Arjuna, you should fight because these people have insulted your wife, or they always acted very inimical towards you. So now this is the time to take revenge. There's no emotional triggers. So the decision is not made based on any emotions, any feelings, right? So there's nothing like some comforts. So basically we can say, at Krishna says, man apaman. Man apaman means on the ego level, that they have insulted you in the whole assembly. Now this is your day. So you're taking decision based on your ego. Okay, you insulted me, today I'll teach you the lesson. So that decision is based on some emotion, which is basically your ego is coming there. So reference point is ego. Then you will make the mistake there. You'll make the mistake, definitely. So this is man apman. Then Krishna talks about sukha dukkha, man apman, jaya apajaya, and then ninda stuti, like that he uses all those words. So they are all different reference point. So when you're talking about man apman, basically it is on the level of ego. Then you're talking about sukh and dukh, it is on the level of comforts, physical comforts. That today you are suffering, you don't even have the place to stay because these people has hijacked, they has captured, your kingdom and all of that. Today you kill, then comfortably you can live in your life. You become the king. That is also nowhere reference point. Krishna is not bringing those concepts. Ego is not bringing. Sukha Dukh is not bringing. Jaya Apajaya is not bringing. You know that what will happen in future. So none of these things are the reference point to make decision. What is the reference point in Bhagavad Gita? Krishna says, Dharma Sanstapana Arthaya. Dharma is the reference point. What is my dharma? And that is what exactly Arjuna was confused. Dharma sammodo cheta. What is my duty? What is my real dharma? So my dharma is not to figure out whether I'll be comfortable in this situation or that situation, or my ego got hurt, so let me take revenge. So one should not take any decision based on all these emotions. Kamam, krodham, tatha, lobham. So most of us in life, we make the decision based on some emotions. It depends on what kind of emotions you're going through in that particular phase of your life. So Krishna talks about that kamam, krodham, tatha, lobham, tasmat tedam trim tajet, trividham narkashedam dwaram nashanam atmana. Krishna says these are all, gateway to hell. All these things. Calm is basically that tendency to enjoy. I want to enjoy. I want to enjoy. So this is the opportunity for me. I kill these people, then I can enjoy the kingdom. Kamam. Don't take the decision based on calm, lust, the tendency that to enjoy. Krodham, that you are very angry. These people have insulted me and they try to kill us. Not today I'll kill. I am so angry. No, don't take the decision based on emotion called anger. You'll make the mistake again. So kamam, krodham, lobham. And you're very greedy. I want to somehow or other, grasp this kingdom so that I can enjoy. I want to kick them out. Don't take decisions on any of those emotions. So either it is physical, it is mental, or it is emotional or on the ego level. Now, your reference point should not be any of these things. Your reference point should be only and only is on the level of soul. That is what in the beginning I explained. Intelligence take the decision, but if intelligence is leaning towards mind is giving you ideas based on so many impressions and emotions and all that. You kill them so that you can enjoy. It's an emotional decision. But if intelligence is leaning towards little this side, towards Atma, what is good for my soul as a person? That decision I should make. So this is the difference between the Atma Buddhi, which is the Shreyas, the temporary gain, versus the Atma Buddhi, which is the real benefit, real good for the soul, which is Shreya, which is long-term gain like that. So what Krishna is doing is, when Arjuna is confused, he is helping him by introducing this another dimension of identity. He says, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the ego, you are not the intelligence, you are beyond all of that. You are the Atma. So he introduced in the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita the concept of Atma. And then as soon as you talk about Atma, the soul, immediately the question comes, what is this soul? What are the features of the soul? So then Krishna explains all, na jayate mriyate va kadachin. Atma is eternal, Atma can never die, he never takes birth, cannot be cut into pieces, it cannot burn in the fire, and all of those things. You understand Atma is eternal, right? And Krishna then further goes on. First he explains the characteristic of Atma, then he further explains later in the chapters that is, Atma is not, independently exist. Atma has its connection. So who is this Atma? Krishna says, Mama Ivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Buddha Sanatana. This Atma is my Ansha. So you, all of us, we are all Atma, we are all soul. What is this soul? From where this soul is coming? We are all actually part and parcel of that Supreme Soul. Krishna is saying, you are my Amsha. So you see that how the different dimension is coming now. Different layers are opening up. First you're thinking on the body, bodily comforts, my ego, my this thing, my anger. You remove all of that. You come to the level of Atma. You are the soul. As soon as you talk about the soul, then immediately you talk about this. What is the soul? Soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Meaning, there's another dimension now comes up that whatever decision you make, it is just like in a family, right? When you take any decision. So you always take the decision. Now again, in modern age, everything is messed up. Nobody cares about anyone. But in general, people take decision in consent with other family members. Child has to take decision, he'll ask the parents, other opinions and like that. Right? So it should be always in consent with the people around. So similarly, if you had to take any decision, you understand now your reference point is I'm the soul, something beyond the body. So now soul has to take decision, should be always in consent with the super soul, Paramatma, the Supreme Lord. We call it Bhagwan, we call it God or Krishna or whatever way you say. But it should be always in consent. Meaning, any decision we make in our life, question should be asked that is it good for my soul? Bodily, there might be some discomforts possible. Mentally, there might be some dilemmas possible. But reference point should be, is it good for my real self? Soul, the Atma. What is real good for Atma is that connection with the Lord. That is where the exact reference point is. That Atma can be only happy eternally in connection with the Supreme Lord Bhagavan, Krishna. So your question should be, if I'm going to take this decision, any decision in life, if it helps me to intensify, to deepens my connection with the Lord, or it takes me away from the Lord, and that becomes the reference point, then you can make the better decisions in your life with a very clear picture. Simple examples, like that Krishna explained that who is God, who is Paramatma, and all of that has been explained. So finally, you understand that I am part and parcel of God. So I should be, whatever I'm doing in my life, whatever decision I'm taking, I should be the part of Krishna's plan. I should not take any independent plan. So my decision should be the part of Krishna's plan. Then immediately question comes, what is Krishna's plan? How do I know? One Bhagavad Gita, you will know. Krishna's plan is Paritranaya Sadhuna Vinashaya Chindusmritam Dharma Sanstapna Ardhaya. Krishna says, I come to establish the Dharma and also to protect my devotees, Paritranaya Sadhunam. So Krishna's plan is, Krishna is why he is coming here in this world, we should know very well from Bhagavad Gita. He's coming here so that he can protect us from this signs of this materialism. We are not realizing, but we are suffering here in this material world, in the dark dungeon. Krishna is saying that you are stuck here. I am coming here to protect. That is what is my mission. So what is Krishna's plan? Krishna's plan is to protect all of us. So now when you make any plan, you make any decision, you should think that this decision of mine will support Krishna's plan. Krishna's plan is to take me out from this material bondage. So any decision I'm taking, if it helps me to come out from this material bondage, or I'm getting more and more bound by any activity. It needs little training, but here we are understanding what should be our reference point. Then all other things can be sacrificed. Like we are talking about the hierarchy of identities, right? Like say, for example, in a team, in an office kind of a setup, one person who is like maybe on a lowest rank, the lowest employee of that team or the company. Now different people are giving different instruction. I do this. Another person is saying, no, do this. Now he's confused. What is happening is conflict of identity. Whom to listen? Everybody is giving different instruction. So what is the result? How to solve this problem? It is as simple as that. Follow the hierarchy. Who is my top boss? Listen to that boss. Then all other things will be taken care. Right? 10 people might be telling 10 things. If you start listening everyone and trying to satisfy, you'll be confused. So listen the top boss. And he says all other people will also shut their mouth. It's simple. This is called hierarchy of identity. So there's so many identities, family, friends, society. They say that in Hindi that, sabse bada rog kya kahenge log. So much we are concerned about what people will think, what people will say, how would it look if I do this, I do that. So much it is on in head, right? We think that we are the center of this whole creation, as if whole world is looking at me only, and whole world, they have nothing to do in the world. They're just looking at me and they're thinking of me. The reality is nobody thinks of us. We only think so much. We think that people are just looking, whole world is looking at me, what they will think of me if I do this, right? But the reality is completely different. Everybody is so self-possessed in this world. They don't care what is happening around. In their life, there's enough to think of. Right? Why they don't think about you? So many times people are very hesitant. So we should become more mature in our approach that how to look at all those. Sometimes people, that hold the mala in the hand, say, oh no, 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 I cannot go with the mala. People will judge me. People, what they will think of me. If I go in this dress, kanti mala, if I put, what people will think of me. Oh, he's some kind of sadhu kind of a person. The girls, they go in some simple dress and something. So the people look at me as some banji. So nobody cares. The reality is nobody cares. And if somebody cares, you should not care for such people. So, but reference point is me all the time. And then you're confused. But we are changing the reference point here. The new dimension Krishna is bringing. You should think as that how Krishna will think about this thing. If I take this decision in my life, how Krishna will be happy and pleased, whether Krishna's plan will be executed, I'll be supporting Krishna's plan, or I'm going against Krishna's plan. And you should know very well what is Krishna's plan. Krishna's plan is Dharma Sanstapana and also take us, all of us, out from this bondage. So any decision you're taking, sometimes, one option might be a better option in terms of some comforts, some more money, some more opportunities or something like that. But if it takes you away from your connection with Krishna, that opportunity where you can practice Krishna consciousness more, if a reference point is Krishna's plan, then it becomes very easy to make the decision. Otherwise, you can be in dilemma whole of your life, like that. So that is what Krishna did in Bhagavad Gita, that you should not take any independent plan, but whenever you plan, you try to become the plan of Krishna's plan, the part of Krishna's plan. Right? They say that be a part, do not apart. So all of us we are just apart from Krishna. We should learn how to become the part of Krishna, part of Krishna's plan. If we can learn that, that becomes the reference point, and it becomes very, very easy to make the decisions in life. Right? Then never make independent plan. Always consider Krishna also as the part of your plan. How it will affect my Krishna consciousness, how it will affect my connection with Krishna by making any decision, whether it will please Krishna or not. If that is the reference point, then we can easily resolve. But we think that we are expert plan makers. And they say that if you want to make God laugh, go and tell your plan. God will laugh loudly. Our plans are like that. Joke. But we think ourselves like, I'm a great thinker, I know everything. But we are all very tiny, limited being, like that. So Krishna is basically helping. And then after all this discussion happens, then what happened to Arjuna? Anybody remembers what happened to Arjuna? He was confused. Yes, 18.73. What he says? Nasta moha smritir labdva tvat prasadat me achyutah sthito asmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. That was final conclusion of Arjuna. After hearing all this knowledge, getting enlightened, all his confusion. He said, Nasta moha smritir labdva. My moha means my illusion is dispelled. Smritir labdva, I got some good intelligence now. And then what I'll do now? Gata sandeha, all my doubts are cleared. Karishye vachanam tava. I'll do as you say. So he did not say that I'll fight or I'll not fight. What I'll do? Karishye vachanam tava. Whatever Krishna you say, I'll do that. So it is not about fighting or not fighting. It's about what Krishna is saying. That is the highest reference point. That is the highest hierarchy, like top boss in the hierarchy. So many people might be saying so many things. But what is the boss saying? Boss saying, Sarvadharman Paritaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. Okay, Arjuna is saying, Karishya Vachanam Tava. Whatever you are saying, I'll do that. So take the decision always which comes in connection with Krishna. Right? So know Krishna's plan well, and then act in a way that you can be the part of Krishna's plan. So your decisions should be in harmonize with Krishna's plan. It should not be any independent decision without Krishna. Because how much ever you try to make the best of your decision, in the ultimate sense that Bhagavatam says, Mano Rathena Asati Dhavado Vahi. Your decision will be based on your mental abilities. If somebody is very intelligent, somebody is very logical, you'll apply all those things to make the decision. And the point is how much ever you're smart, intelligent, or logical brain or whatever, your decisions will be. If it is not in connection with Krishna, it might be some prayash. Prayash means the short-term gain, but long-term gain. Start thinking about long-term gain. So we always think we are all very narrow-minded. We're all very short-sighted. We think of only job or something like that, which is also okay, important to think of all of those things, but not at the cost of uh, sacrificing our connection or relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. So that consideration, that deliberation also comes into the picture. Then you can make better choice. They're called the informed decisions. So informed decisions are made always with enough considerations, enough deliberation based on knowledge. And knowledge is not some materialistic knowledge, but the complete knowledge of the soul. So when you consider all those factors and based on that you make the decision, that will come out to be the real decision. So that is the art of making decision. Now many more things can be said here, but I'll just pause here for now and then let me see if anybody has any quick question. People might have some practical questions on to ask. Yes.
Taking decisions, if it's clear, like, between good and bad, then it's easier to make those decisions, right? I mean, instead of doing anyay, you do nyay. That is easier. But where I feel the confusion comes is where we perceive things as gray areas, wherein it could be that both the decisions might be good enough, or it could be like the situation wherein you talk about the office environment, right? You always have to listen to the topmost boss kind of thing. But if the topmost boss is not making the right decision and you know it, and if you don't follow him, you'll be in trouble.
Okay, so I'll answer you this question, how I think of this. So basically, question is those who are joining online, like the moral dilemmas is easy to resolve. It is between good and bad, easily. Ethical dilemmas are little hard because it is between good and more good or bad or more bad. So which one? So that is what is your your question is, right? So when we make any decision, what is the art of making decision is two things to remember always. That your decision should be informed decision and transformed decision. Informed decision means don't go by any emotions. Oh, I don't like this guy and look at this, and I hate this person. Don't bring emotions. This is the golden rule of making any decision in life. Never take any decision under any emotion. Now, emotion is not always just negative emotions. Sometimes positive emotions also. Like you're angry, you're sad, and you're depressed. That is how people go and commit suicide. They make some decision in this moment. They're feeling so depressed and they say, okay, I end my life. But it other way also it works. If somebody is too elated, too happy, say, I'm so happy, just take my property, no problem. Enjoy. Later you may regret, hey, why did I say like that? So that the golden rule is never make decision under any emotion, number one. Right? Another thing I said is informed decision. Informed means there has to be enough proper knowledge, education, consideration, deliberation, discussion, guidance. If you are not able to come to some concrete stand, then take some guidance from your seniors or some family members. Discuss that. Don't haphazardly or whimsically never take any decision. You can take little time, and all of that. So that is informed decision. In addition, I said transform decision. Also, if you can consider that this decision can transform my life in a positive way. It can be mentally speaking also, it should be positive, but ultimately spiritually positive. So informed decision and transformed decision. Now, sometimes if still you're confused despite all of this, then weigh the consequences of your decision. If I do this, this will be the consequences. I do this, this will be the consequences. Right? Weigh them and then contemplate on those consequences and then take the decision which of the consequences I am willing I'm ready to bear with. So it might be bad or more bad. So between more and more bad and more bad, you can choose the bad one. If there's no good option, right? But still, it is a good decision that you did not choose the more bad or worst decision like that, right? So that needs little knowledge and contemplation and some guidance sometime, right? And take a little time and then see the consequences and then analyze and compare or something, whatever among the two options, what seems to be better option for you, do that in general. But ultimately, it should come to your spiritual transformed. Your decision should be something which transforms your life. Mentally speaking, you should be in a better, more peaceful, more comfortable situation. But ultimately, it should not come at the cost of sacrificing your spiritual connection. So if it comes to your spiritual connections, then you should make the decision which might come at the cost of sacrificing your comforts, sacrificing some of the facilities and all of that. If it helps you to become more Krishna conscious, so that is what is the top boss thing. So like that. Yeah, life is sometimes not that straight, very complex. Most of us we don't follow, or we really don't face those kind of conflicting situations like Arjuna, whether to kill or not. Like we never face, and we wish and we pray that we should never face this kind of. We'll die with a heart attack only. Will not be able to even sustain in those kind of situations where you have to kill your own family members for the sake of dharma, not whimsically. And who's telling you? Krishna. Now he's saying you kill your family members. What you will do? What you can do? You can't do nothing. You surrender to Krishna. Say, Krishna, okay. I'm in confused. I don't know what to do. I can't take decision. I can just surrender. And that is what Arjuna did actually. Arjuna says, Karishya vachanam tava. So have that faith, have that confidence. So the process of any spiritual practice is to develop that faith and that confidence in the Lord's protection. If any of you remember that we discussed one of the 6 sessions, 6 promises, where Krishna gave the Sarv Dharman Paritaja Mamekam Sharanam Raja. So we are talking about the principles of surrender. Krishna is saying, surrender unto me. And we discussed in detail. You can go back and check that session if you might have forgotten, and I'm sure it is forgotten that. So there are 6 principles of surrender. So one of the principle of surrender is Avashya Rakhive Krishna iti Vishwasa Palana. That have that Vishwas, have that faith that if I surrender to Krishna, Krishna will protect me. That faith won't come that easily. We talk in the classes, sitting in this kind of discourses, it sounds very nice. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But when the real life situation comes, the first of all, we'll doubt Krishna only. And Krishna, why did you put me in this kind of situation? Why couldn't you handle this? You could have resolved it as easily. That is what is the situation. That is what is our faith level. Right. So the whole idea is through all these practices, hearing, reading, chanting, in the association of devotees, we develop that faith. Then we understand ultimately, I have to surrender to Krishna. And whatever helps me to surrender to Krishna, get closer to Krishna, to build up my connection, my bond, my relation, my affection, my love for Krishna, that should be my first priority. All other things, if it is required to a little bit sacrifice, fine, I can sacrifice. That will be little tapasya. Yes, Mataji.
Would it be advisable to leave things to Krishna only, or it would be very childish that if this thing is
No, as I said, don't leave things just like that. Oh, Krishna will take care. With a very mature consideration, knowledge, discussion, and then you do your best, whatever you can do the best, and then leave the rest. We are not saying leave everything. So you do your best and then leave the rest. And your best, you should know what is my best. And somebody says, my best is just to find bigger job. Krishna is okay. I need, that is not best for you. It might be temporarily, it might be best, look best. That is not the real best thing. Best thing is your connection with Krishna. If it comes at the cost of little less money, little discomforts, some challenges, something. So do that best, not materially speaking best. And then leave the rest. And then Krishna will take care. Arjuna did not leave on Krishna everything. Arjuna, despite all of that, still he had to fight. He fought. But he discussed. And in that discussion, is considering what about this, what about that, the first chapter, we see the reasons for not fighting. So it was very, very thoughtful, thinking the consequences. If I fight, this will be the consequences, and all of that. And then leave the rest. Now, Krishna, you tell what to do. So, like that, we should think and consider and discuss.
Fear, Sanatan, the question I had was on fear, right? One of the biggest
One second,
problems.
one second. Let me just take one question here. Somebody's talking, then I'll come back to you. Yes.
We fix things are predestined. So in fact, everything is predestined. So how is our decision making is significant in that context?
Yeah, so many things, the major things in our life are predestined, then whether we take this decision or that decision, how it will make difference. Yes, things may be destined and things are actually destined, but still we have our role play to do, right? So like the child is born. Now he comes with his own destiny that, he'll be a very intelligent child or become a big man or whatever. But the mother cannot say that, anyway, he came with his destiny. So, छोड़ दो. That mother has to do the duty of taking care of the child, feeding, and constantly like on guard, like what's happening. So you talk about your dharma. What is my duty in this situation? After that, how the things will unfold in life, that is destined. But your role play you do at that time. Right. So the duty is very, very important. That is why Bhagavad Gita is all about duty. Do the duty. Right? Like, in fact, Krishna showed that Vishwarupa, that universal form, and in that form he showed. Already movie was shown. What is happening? He said all these people, they're already killed by me. They're like crushed into the mouth of that Vishwarupa and all of that. So then Arjuna says, anyway, you killed, no? Then why you are engaging me in that? Let me focus on my chanting. My rounds are pending for so many days. No, he didn't do that. Still, he has to do his duty as a Kshatriya. So we always has to do the duty. That is what is the dharma is. So we should talk about the dharma. So they say that, oh no, everybody comes with their own karma, which is basically you're saying the destiny. Don't focus on karma, focus on dharma. Karma will unfold in the due course. If you don't do your dharma, then those karma will also not unfold. Like say, for example, if I give you the check today, say some, $1,000 check. Say this is a gift for you. Enjoy. Now that has become your destiny, that you have $1,000, something like that. But you have to do your duty of submitting it into the bank or something. So no, I have $1,000, I have $1,000. You will never be able to reap that. So you do your part, you go to the bank and submit it, then it becomes your destiny. So like that we should think. Okay. Yeah, Sachin, you can go ahead. What is your question?
Yeah, my question was the role of fear, right? So decision making is, some decisions are very simple. Morning, I have to wake up, take breakfast, make tea, coffee. Okay, nothing to decide. Go to office, do some task. Some decisions I know I can never do that. I won't be president of US. I can't climb Mount Everest, right? So those are also not stressful decisions. The challenge comes when decisions you think you can do, but you are fear of the outcome. Those are the most difficult decisions, that whether it's in job, I should leave my job, do business, I should change job, I should do this, scold my children, not do this. All those decisions you know you can do, but there's a constant fear that if you do this, the effects will be negative, and that is what is holding us back. Sanathan, you can please help on that.
Yeah. So it's a good point that you're bringing, that, some things are not always very simple and straight to make decisions. So as I said, that you have to weigh the consequences of whatever two options are there, and with good knowledge and discussion and all of that, and then see which one you are willing, based on your personality type, based on your circumstances, which one you are willing to bear with, because every decision comes with its own consequences. So consequences will be there in every decision you make in life. It is about which one you want to make. So this is that, we have our journey to take and we have our life to make, right? So we have to do that. You have to make your life, you have to take your journey, but just consider all of that. And then point is, I would add one more thing is, see, there cannot be something called perfect decision in life. There can be best decision based on your abilities and given circumstances. But what we are discussing here is, now bring this reference point of Krishna. That will even make it even better. But still, you cannot say that every decision, something is called like best decision or perfect decision. There cannot be something perfect. What happens, like, this famous saying that Somebody was taking the interview of one famous entrepreneur, very, very successful man. Somebody asked that, what is the secret of, and it was like a rapid fire round. So you have to just give one word answer or two word answer like that. You cannot just give the lecture. Somebody asked that, what is the secret of your success? One word answer. So he says, my secret of success is good decisions. Says, wow, okay. So next question is, how do you make good decisions? And then one word answer. He says, good decisions are experience. You should become experienced in life, become more mature. And then third question was, how do you become experienced? Says wrong decisions. That is how the experience comes. Life is like that. So you just keep making the choices, keep making the decisions, you learn. So it is like, two things will happen. Any decision you make, if it goes your way, the way you planned, fantastic. Enjoy, share the story with others, right? That yes, believe me that it works. I did that and it worked. And that will inspire the people, right? Krishna consciousness. You have the experience and share with others. Hey, it works. And with that confidence, with that experience, you say and people also feel inspired. And in case, if it doesn't go your way, the things doesn't turn out to be as per your plan, still you have a lot to share with others. Go and share your stories, share your experiences, your learnings in the course of, going through that journey of failure. And that will help the people to make their decisions better. So in every situation, you always have to contribute something. But some decisions we have to take. So some of these best things, best practices, and the one of the best thing is bringing this factor of Krishna consciousness in our life, and that can help us to make the better choice. Hope it answers your question.
Thank you. Thank you, bro.
Okay, so I have the question here. If we depend on others to make decisions for us, is that good? Like husband or father makes decisions for girls. How come other can't take right decisions for other persons? Yes. So many times people, they feel choked. Somebody is taking the decision of my life. But yes, at one point it is helpful because a child cannot take decision. So we are also childish in so many different ways. Physically we might have grown up, but sometime mentally or spiritually we might be childish. So we should always seek the guidance and consultation with others. So yes, it is important. But also another thing you can do is if you have some preferences, some choices, you can discuss with your elders and you express your heart and try to go through that, weighing the consequences, that if I take this, then the consequences, if I take that, that will be the consequences, and that will help them also to make a better choice for you. Okay. Any last question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, one question. How we talk about making decisions. We as adults, sometimes we don't know what is right, wrong. We need to go through this process. How do you, how do you help kids take the right decision? As parents, what are the things that we can do to guide them or put them in the right direction?
Yeah, so that itself is like a whole lot of subject, big subject, art of parenting. So the approach should be the Krishna's approach, that he did not impose his decision on him, but he took him through the journey to educate him, and then finally, ultimately, it was Arjuna's decision. So similarly, parents also should educate them. They should get them exposed to some values, some education, especially most importantly, not just modern education that is important, but more important is our spiritual education. So train them and let them understand the value, that what is important. It's not about just money. It's not all the time about just grades. It's not about just comparison with others and all of that, criticism, all those kind of things. We can educate the kids and just be on guard, keep helping them and let them take some decisions. If it is not something very grievous at times, and it is a mistake, it's not a great decision for them, let them do that. So let them learn by their mistakes at times. It helps. Instead of you impose on someone and then they are not happy. So let them do the mistake and they can learn by their mistakes, unless it is something very serious mistake. So we should also have some big heart to allow the kids to take the decisions like that. But you can guide them and you can educate, not only at the point of making decisions, but in general, we should always, keep guiding them, keep educating them, especially in these values from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and all of those things. So get them exposed to all this education. That will help them to make the right choices. Yeah. And sometimes we have to have some patience. The teenagers, especially, they don't listen to parents. Especially in this country, it is even more difficult. So that's fine. You can do whatever you can do best, and still they don't listen, then that's okay. Have some patience, pray to the Lord, and Lord has to guide them. That is what we can do. Ultimately, we should also remember that we are not the supreme controller, we are not the supreme knower, that we know everything, we can control everything. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So one good decision that we can always make is practicing Krishna consciousness very sincerely, very committedly. That can be the best decision. Read Bhagavad Gita daily, chant Hare Krishna mantra daily, come to temple, associate, discuss, hear all this kind of discourses. That can be one of the best decisions, and that will help us to make even better decisions in life. Okay, so we really appreciate all your time and your commitment to come and join these sessions. And I'm hoping, assuming that everybody chanting here, if not started chanting, please start chanting daily and read at least just one verse or two verses of Bhagavad Gita daily. Make it the daily practice of your life. That will be one of the best decisions of your life. Okay, so we'll pause with this. Let us now just chant one round of Hare Krishna mantra. So please repeat after me. This mantra is given to everyone. Jai Shri